What's up, YouTube? So before we get started with this video, on First Take, they're going to be talking about, did Kawhi Leonard play the Lakers and some other teams? So let's see what they have to say about that.
Did Kawhi play the Lake Show?
No, he didn't. They played themselves, all right? Especially the Lakers. Let me explain. First of all, I don't want to hear anything about the Raptors. Kawhi gets traded there from San Antonio. Before he got traded from Toronto, he was trying to get to L.A. Popovich, Buford, and the Spurs refused to do so. They sent him out of the country, for crying out loud. Okay, so that you know, and then Masai Ujiri knew I was taking a one-year gamble, and it paid off in certain respects because Kawhi Leonard delivered the championship. Okay, and now he's a free agent, and you knew the possibility was there for him to be gone, but you were willing to take that chance for the crown. You got the crown, he got the crown, and LA, everybody's happy. In the case of the Los Angeles Lakers, here's how they played themselves. You have two of the top 5 players on the planet Earth. I believe that LeBron James will reestablish himself as the greatest player in the world this year. I believe he will win MVP this upcoming season. That's my personal opinion. But I'll tell you this much. He and Anthony Davis are two of the top 5 players on the planet Earth. What the hell are you sitting around waiting for Kawhi Leonard for?
They're probably waiting on Kawhi Leonard because they know he's the best two-way player in the league right now. And he just might be the best player in the league right now. That's why LeBron James and the Lakers were waiting on to see if they can pick up Kawhi Leonard. So let's continue.
This is basketball. This ain't football. It ain't like you got 2 elite players on offense, but you know what? You got a wide receiver and a quarterback. We can use a running back. You know what I'm saying? Or you got the wide receiver, the running back, and the wide receiver or the quarterback, but we need somebody on the spearhead our defense, like a Khalil Mack or something. No, this is basketball. 2 elite players in basketball with the right parts, which is something that you've articulated on many occasions in terms of framing a team. It's what you need to build a championship. We watched Kawhi Leonard do it with himself and a bunch of marginal or better than marginal players around him, but no, the lone superstar on the Toronto Raptors. There have been plenty of champions in NBA history that have had 2 stars, and that's it. You are LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Why in the hell are you sitting around waiting? I understand you want Kawhi because who wouldn't want Kawhi? But why are you waiting as if the future of your franchise depends on it? You know why you're waiting? Because you wanted to do everything you could to make sure he didn't land with the Clippers. Because Jeannie Buss, just months ago, Max, was out there publicly declaring we ain't worried about no Clippers. Clippers ain't on our level. This is Laker Nation, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what Steve Ballmer, Doc Rivers, Lawrence Frank, what Jerry West did? Hold on a second. This is a new day. And Laker Nation is Laker Nation, and people gonna root for that purple and gold. But make no mistake about it, we are coming, and you better recognize that we are coming. We don't even want the same arena with you anymore. We want to get something over there near the Forum in Inglewood. If James Dolan can get the hell out of our way, so we can make that happen. This is what's going on. The Lakers. If the Lakers sit up there and feel they got played by Kawhi Leonard, Max, it's because they were stupid enough to wait too long when you had no business doing so because you're supposed to be the Lakers and you have LeBron and AD. You shouldn't have waited that long. I don't think it.
Well, you know LeBron James needs every advantage he can get in order to be a super team, in order to make a deep run. So that right there is not surprising. For 2, who wouldn't want Kawhi Leonard? You have to go after Kawhi Leonard, no matter if your team's stacked or not. You have to at least make an effort to pick up Kawhi Leonard because you never know what might happen. Look what happened to the Brooklyn Nets. Who was that? Kevin Durant just showed up at their doorstep talking about what time's the practice start and where's my locker. Just sitting there like, what? So you never know what could happen with some of these players. You got to go after him. You got to go after him. And as far as Miss Buss talking trash about the Clippers earlier this year, well, she is right because it's going to be Laker Nation probably for the next 20, 30 years if, you know, the Clippers aren't able to do anything. And even if the Clippers do win a championship this year, they're still not going to take over L.A. So as far as that, I don't know. Let's keep going.
Would have mattered. Let me just say this. You know who Kawhi Leonard is? And by the way, before I even say it, apologies to my friend Jason Whitlock, who half his stuff he says is about like who's like a character in The Wire. So he may have already said this, I don't know. But Kawhi Leonard is Marlo from The Wire. Remember Marlo when Prop Joe, he was gonna about to have Prop Joe bumped off, and Proposition Joe tells him, I treated you like a son. Remember what Marlo said? I wasn't made to play the son. Marlo took over. Kawhi Leonard is Marlo. Think of who said, oh, shucks, I treated him like a son, basically gave that impression. Popovich Pop is in his name. and Kawhi Leonard basically told him, I wasn't made to play the son. You know, Kawhi's lost his father under tragic circumstances. Kawhi had a father that he was close to and all that. He's not anybody else's son.
Right.
And LeBron James, the king, I wasn't made to play the son. No. What he just did was, I'm not saying he set everyone up and played everyone. I'm sure he considered what Masai Ujiri was selling. You got to take that man seriously. You just won a championship, but ultimately it's Toronto. It's not LA where he's from, where he wanted to play. I'm sure if it could be that if the Clippers never got Paul George, they just couldn't swing that deal. Maybe he does sign with the Lakers, even though that's not his priority. It's not his first choice. What Kawhi Leonard just did was, in certain respects, save the NBA. It started with LeBron James and the super team in Miami. And old school folks lamented the fact that instead of seeking competition, LeBron James sought to squash it, right? He sought to put a super team together no one could beat. And then it was elevated, escalated by Kevin Durant, who joined a 70-degree win team. No, Kawhi's not made to play the son, LeBron, anyone else. And I'm a Lakers fan. I wish the Lakers would have gotten him. No, he didn't join LeBron James's team. Kawhi kicked down the door in LeBron James's house and set up evenly matched super teams in the same building and said, let's get it. I'm taking over. I wasn't made to play the son. That's what Kawhi just did. Well, it's about time people got the message.
He did it. That is a...
So I don't know if it's that deep, but as far as, like I said, LeBron James is heavily recruiting Kawhi Leonard because Kawhi Leonard is a beast. And LeBron James, like I said, needs every advantage he can get in order to get a championship to still be chasing Michael Jordan. And as far as, Kawhi Leonard, I think if more than anything, all the other teams play themselves, because you don't know what Kawhi Leonard's thinking. They play themselves and thinking you might figure out where he wants to go when you don't know anything about what Kawhi is thinking. So he did his own thing, and you have all these teams jumping to conclusions about what you think Kawhi Leonard's going to do, and you were wrong. He wound up doing whatever he wanted to do. Now that he maybe not want to play with LeBron James and Paul George because he might feel like a third wheel, feel like he might do everything, or he wanted to go to the Clippers and have his own dynasty there, especially where he's from. That could be it. But again, like I said, LeBron James is looking to get Kawhi Leonard because he needs every advantage he can get. Every advantage he can get. He's greedy, which I don't blame him. You want to be greedy. You want to have the best team possible. But as Kawhi showed, he's his own man. He went to Clippers. He doesn't need to ride anybody's coattails. He's the defending champion and defending Finals MVP. So it is what it is. Everybody else played himself because you jumped to conclusions and you thought you knew what Kawhi Leonard wanted to do, and you didn't. So let's continue.
Message, there's no question about it, but he was willing to play that role if the Clippers hadn't stepped up. And one of the things you will both need to know for the purposes of this show, and this is me putting on my reporter's hat here, people in NBA circles are talking about this right now. Allegedly, the Uncle Dennis.
Yeah. Uncle Dennis is no joke.
Was asking for a lot of stuff from the other teams. Houses, planes, sponsorship, guaranteed sponsorship money, just as an example. They're throwing this stuff out there. All of those things are supposedly illegal in the collective bargaining agreement. I have no idea whether this is true or not. I'm not trying to cast any aspersions on Uncle Dennis, but people in NBA circles are talking about this as we speak. Why is that important? Because one could argue the reason why this story is out there right now about the Lakers and the Raptors feeling played wasn't just because of what Uncle Dennis asked for, but they're going to try to turn that around and parlay that into a question about what did the Clippers give up to get Kawhi Leonard. So in other words, you've got teams right now playing games with one another, talking about, they're trying to point the finger at the Clippers saying, let's ask about what the Clippers did to get Kawhi Leonard. I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
Exactly. We don't care, and it doesn't really matter because all teams were doing whatever they could do to get Kawhi Leonard. It's kind of like, just like in college, when you have all these college teams trying to recruit the best kid. They're going to do whatever it takes, even if it's dirty, if it's some under-the-table type stuff, to get that type of player. And then when the other team gets that player that you couldn't get, you start pointing fingers and start saying, oh, look what they did. They did this and that to get this player. When they would have done the same thing, it's just that player didn't want to come for your team. So I think that's a lot of the problem. And as far as Kawhi Leonard's uncle goes, I kind of want to say he sounds like he's kind of a snake, kind of, maybe using Kawhi to get as much money or whatever thinks he can get out of everybody else. But I don't quite want to say that. But it sounds kind of shady what his uncle was doing, even though I know this is the time you get your bag because he's a defending champion, defending MVP. Now is the time to ask for anything and everything you want. And you most likely won't get it because you will get it because, they're going to be using Kawhi. So Kawhi, you better get whatever you can from these teams. So I don't know. It just kind of seemed like what I'm hearing about his uncle, it seems kind of shady. I could be wrong, but maybe he's looking out for the best interest for himself and for Kawhi because he knows the other teams will be shady and, get rid of Kawhi if he gets hurt immediately like what the Spurs did. So I don't know. It's just like a lot of hearsay going on. But let's continue.
We don't care. The bottom line is Kawhi Leonard is with the Los Angeles Clippers. He's not with the Lakers or the Raptors. But I'm telling you right now, in the days to come, you're going to hear more noise about what Kawhi's camp was asking for.
So let me end this off with, of course, the time for Kawhi that everybody was trying to recruit him, they were probably throwing the house at him. They're doing everything, whatever he wanted, they said, we'll give it to you. So he's probably not saying anything, but everybody's courting him. So, okay, if you offer this, you offer that. And his uncle might be asking for stuff and, trying to manipulate the process. And Kawhi's just sitting back. But, of course, I didn't say anything. I didn't ask for it. You guys are offering me. So if you guys offer me this or that, and I don't accept your offer, and I go with the team that I was going to go with anyways before you guys started courting me, don't get mad at me because I went to the team that I want to, and you guys offered me all this stuff, and I didn't take it. There was no shady business going on. This is what it is when everybody's trying to recruit me and give me whatever I want so I'll come play with your team. And my uncle was there helping me, trying to figure out and trying to listen to what everybody has to offer. If I don't take your offer and I go to the team that I want to go to, don't get mad. Don't start hating. So, I don't know. Let's continue.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what should make...
With questions about what the Clippers